Everybody, thank you for joining me here today. It's Thursday, May 15th, year 2014. Let's go ahead and get to our top stories here today, unfortunately. And we got some problems that are going on today in Duncanville, Texas. We'll tell you about it here in just a moment. Time now is 2:53. Temperatures are now in Dallas, 78 degrees. Presented by AT&T Digital Line. For more, go to AT&T.com. See your front porch from your phone with AT&T Digital Line Professional Monitor. Zero upfront fees on smart security. For more, go to AT&T.com. Duncanville, Texas. Hundreds of students stage a sit-in in the hallways of Duncanville High School Thursday afternoon. Police were called to the scene and the students were forced outside. Students then unleashed back into the school. The protest came after more students were sent home Thursday morning. About 170 students were suspended the day before. Read school dress code policy. I walk into the school and they tell me to walk out because I have the black shirt on, said Enrique Delgado, a sophomore. The teen estimated about 50 students were sent home Thursday. Tammy Kula Kendall, a spokeswoman with the Duncanville Independent School District, said she wasn't aware of students being turned away and called Thursday a normal day. This is something that shouldn't have been enforced since the beginning, said Verican Weston, a mother of Duncanville. Student, because the administration wakes up one day and decides we're going to enforce, kids have been allowed to do something for so long, both of them kind of own it. Manston said social media has spurred more problems as students have gone to Twitter to voice their displeasure with the school actions. And I quote, "It is definitely adding fuel to the fire," she said, "and I think they are responding in a way they think is appropriate, though it's not. But I also think that booting them out because they're choosing now to enforce this is not good." Wednesday, video taken into the school's cafeteria shows students chanting after they were told to leave the campus due to dress code violations. The principal of the school said the swap that was made Wednesday are similar to the ones done four times a year as part of a zero tolerance policy that was started back in 2003. That year, about 700 students were sent home during a 2-month period. The administration said they will not offer interviews Thursday, and they stand behind Wednesday's statement. So obviously, just because you were not wearing the proper dress, the proper uniform shirt, means you had to be suspended for this? I mean, what has these districts come to here in North Texas? I truly don't get it. I mean, if you're going to go to school and they tell you you have to wear that proper uniform, then it obviously they're trying to explain to you what type of dress code you're supposed to have. For example, I think all the districts here in North Texas really need to be a little bit more stricter with these kids, because every time you see them walking into school or going to school, they're going down with their diaper down. No, they need to pull that diaper up. That's what they technically need to do. This message is going out to the DISD teenage boys and the ISD teenage boys who obviously don't know how to dress. Like, they want mama to dress. You're outgrown. Let me tell you something else, though, students. Remember this. When you're going to school, you're not supposed to wear saggy pants or having your diaper shown all over. Pull up your diaper. No one wants to see your diaper. I don't want to see your diaper in public. So please, students, know how to dress normally. Please, that's my advice for me, an ex-student, a DISD known as Coropal Martinez, class of 2007. That is my advice to you. Time is 2:58, and let's go ahead and go with the next story here today, live on YouTube.com, because we got a lot to talk about here today, unfortunately. And we'll start with a sad story that happened today in Fort Worth, Texas. I'll explain to you here in just a moment, live here on YouTube.com. So, fortunately, let's go here and talk about this one here in just a moment. Excuse me for just a second here. Okay. Probably have to go back to our local page here in just a moment here. Let's see here. Let's just go back here in just a moment. I'll tell you here what happened to the swap. What was the story here in just a moment. I'm glad to tell you here in just a moment as soon as I get to it. Excuse me. But fortunately to me, like I was saying here just a moment ago, I think this is the right thing that all the schools need to be doing, unfortunately. And the reason why I say that is because you can't continue to allow these students here, folks, to be wearing any type of saggy pants, and it's not the right thing. They don't need to be doing that. They need to know how to dress properly. Okay, here we go. Looks like we got the story here. So we'll talk about the story here in just a moment. This happened today, of course, in Fort Worth, Texas. We'll tell you here in just a moment here. Okay. Fort Worth, Texas. Authorities said a teen was wearing headphones when he was struck by a train Thursday morning in Fort Worth. The teen was pronounced dead at the scene of the 2100 block of York Drive about 7:15 a.m. Thursday in Fort Worth, according to MedStar authorities, later confirmed that the teen was a male somewhere between the ages of 16 to 18 years old. We believe he's a student, but the final confirmation will have to wait until medical examiner's ruling, said Clint Bond, a spokesman with the Fort Worth Independent School District. It's tragic if the young man was wearing his earphones and has music so loud he couldn't hear a train, but we all know how loud trains are, said Sergeant Ray Bush, a spokesman with the Fort Worth Police Department. This is a very sad story here today, folks. It's unfortunately that I really don't understand. We had every time we hear trains running over people. You know, if you live somewhere near the train tracks, near the Metroplex, and your school is not too far for you, remember to look both ways before crossing the train tracks. You never know. There could be a flight train coming behind you or near you, and all of a sudden you get struck over by a train because you're wearing your headphones on you, and on top of that, you're hearing too much of loud music. So let's be careful. All right, 10 hours 3:02. Here's go ahead and talk some national news, shall we? That's what we're going to go to here in just a moment here, live on YouTube.com. So, to me at this point, I think what the ISD is doing in Duncanville, Texas is getting a little bit of harsh. They need to start telling the students what type of color shirts need to wear in their uniform so parents won't think their child is not attending classes, you know. And I think now the parents are going to say something about this, unfortunately, because this is a serious problem here. It's a serious problem that leads to kids getting sent to school. So, obviously, it's not the right thing to be doing here, folks. Okay. So here we go with our next story here in Rowlett, North Carolina. We'll get into that story here in just a moment. Do bear with me. Hopefully I have no commercials play here in my program. Okay, fortunately not. Okay. Raleigh, North Carolina. The mother of Fort Bragg soldier who disappeared more than 2 years ago says police were led to her daughter's grave by the suspect charged in her killing. Johanna Hansen of St. Cloud, Florida, said Thursday she was told by Batesville police that Nicholas Hilbert led authorities to the remains of her daughter, PFC Kylie Broaddus. Herbert's charged with killing Broaddus. Police say Hilbert went with Broaddus to Fayetteville Bar, where she was last seen April 2012. Hilbert is scheduled to appear Thursday on charges of first-degree murder and first-degree kidnapping. Henson says Hilbert led investigators to Broaddus' graves in a densely wooded area about 4 miles from the bar. This is a very sad story, unfortunately, because a grieving mother loses her daughter, who was fighting for her country, and now this happened back in 2012. I guess a couple of years ago. It's not too far away, far along, and now this man here named Hilbert, he killed her in a wooded area. And I'm not so sure what happened with the story. I'm kind of confused on it at my point at the moment. So, really, this is a weird story, obviously. Let's get to our next story here in just a moment. And unfortunately, like I said once again, this is a serious problem. Our next one, go to talk the NFL. This is a different one now, of course, on the national news. And this is now involving Aaron Hernandez, the Puerto Rican from Puerto Rico. We'll talk to his story. We'll explain his story now, unfortunately, here in the NFL. DiGiorno new hot plate for hot sauce. DiGiorno rising crust. Save $1 now at DiGiorno. For more, go to DiGiornoPizza.com. Okay, here I go. Boston, Massachusetts. Aaron Hernandez ambushed and shot to death 2 men after a chance encounter inside a Boston nightclub. Prosecutors said Thursday as they announced new murder charges against the former NFL star who was already waiting trial in another shooting death. The victims in the 2012 killing, Daniel De La Abreu and Zapario Fatando, were shot to death in a car as they waited at a red light on a July night in Boston's South End neighborhood. South Fork District Attorney Daniel Connolly would not elaborate on what happened in the nightclub, other than saying that encounter triggered a series of events that ended in the murders. Just excuse me here just a moment here, folks. Those